Tui tuia, uia mai rā koutou tātou I roto I tēnei pō. Ko au tēnei ko Jay Wilson, nō roto ana mai o tēnei pai, tēnei ipurangi, pai ipurangi e ki ana ko te pai wao. Te mea I kau atu I roto I tēnei pō, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou. Kia ora everybody. Well, it's been quite a while. But Jay Wilson here from Te Pai Waho. Connecting to you tonight through a number of different platforms. And it's been almost 2 months, I think, since I had my last broadcast. And it's the first time I've had a break since I started in May 2019. There was the odd week where I might have had a tangi or just needed a rest. But actually, this is the first full break that I've had since May 2019. So, kei konei. And yeah, I just thought I'd start a new series and tonight talk about Manu and kia ora he tama. And in particular, we'll share different stories about Manu and how our tupuna viewed them, and then how we might get some conflicting ideas as we navigate conservation and what Doc says are taonga species for us. So, yeah, tēnā koutou. Rawe ki te atu ia koutou e ono mai ana. Oi anō e tangi ana ki ngā mate. Ki te ika oirua ki te wākainga. Kōrua koe riro atu o tira koutou. I aituatia. E moe, e oki. Ai te wā e tika ana ka oki no kōrua ki te wākainga, no reira e moe e oki. Tatu atu ki te kuia e takoto ana ki o tautai, ko koe ko koutou ki te pō, tēnei tātou e mii nei, e rapu nei te ora, kia ora tātou. So, as I said, it's been a 2-month break and I started recording the kaupapa that I was covering a year into me doing this. So I started in 2019, started actually recording all of the kaupapa from 2020. And yeah, there's a few things that I've shared my thoughts on. Hoi anō. As I said, tonight's kaupapa is about Manu, and tonight I'm going to talk about the Kiwi. And because te reo Māori is an onomatopoeic language, so many of our words come from the sounds that we hear. So splish, splash is an onomatopoeic phrase, just like Kiwi, Kiwi. And so that's the origin of the word Kiwi. And I thought it'd be good to talk about this from a Māori perspective, simply because a lot of New Zealanders call themselves Kiwis. And I never use the term Kiwi, simply because if you're called a Kiwi in a te reo Māori context, very rarely is it a compliment. Similarly with a kōrero, if you're called a kōrero, it's not necessarily a compliment. And why from a te ao Māori point of view is, hi mum, from a te ao Māori point of view, is Kiwi a bit different when you then look at the feathers and it's one of the prized cloaks or kākahu. So let's try and dissect some of that, eh? I'm also going to try and keep shorter than normal. So the Kiwi, as I said, is a nocturnal bird. So it's a bird of the night, and it's often referred to as he Kiwi pirori. And the Kiwi pirori is a bird, or the Kiwi, that wanders aimlessly at night. He Kiwi ketu ketu is another phrase for the Kiwi, where our tupuna sat, they observed, and they watched all of the animals and all of the plants so that they could get guidance. Sometimes it's a compliment, sometimes it's a warning, and sometimes it's just a straight out, yeah, you're a Kiwi. And so it can sometimes be a diss. And the whole idea around the Kiwi pīrori is that it just roams with its beak, looking for food here, there, and everywhere, without any clear path from our tupuna observation, without any clear path of what it's trying to do or where it's going. And so what our tupuna would often do is that then look and at these different animals and then describe people after that. And I know in the case of the Kiwi pīrori, it's often referred to when people go out of their area to learn and they bring things back, which may or may not be fruitful for the tribe. And yes, James, that's correct. The full name for the kiwi is kiwi, and even though that's a word for grey as well, but that's the full term for the bird kiwi. Where was I? And so yeah, it's about, if you're referred to as a Kiwi pīrori, you're somebody who's gone away from your tribal area, got some knowledge, brought it back, and it's not necessarily the best thing for your people. A Kiwi ketu is somebody who's nosy, who interrupts, butts in into the conversation, again, with no kick or no fruit to that actual conversation, and just wants to be heard or seem to be able to say something. And there are many examples of that in the workplace, at home, and or in social settings. And so, you know, let's not call people Kiwi when you're drinking, just in case. Kariri. But so that's some of the descriptors. I also wanted to talk about the huruhuru. And the kahu kiwi is a stunning kākahu. It's just beautiful. And what's beautiful about it is from a distance, its shimmer, which is the same as when you see a kiwi in the wild, its shimmer is stunning. And as it shimmers, that's where that phrase kiwi comes from. Because though they most commonly brown feathers, they as they shimmer, they become a browny greyish. Well, they appear to be a browny greyish. And so if you had a kahu kiwi, it was often a well-prized kākahu. Another point about the kiwi is that they've got a really strong scent. And if you've ever been to a kiwi release, and not many people get to go to those, but if you do have the privilege of going, they're really nervous and they like to be just by themselves. So they struggle when all of these humans want to have all of this ceremony, which isn't for the bird really, it's actually for us. And you just got to get the bird back into the bush. And what I thought would be really important to share is, if you are in a release and you get to hold and or release it, just be careful. Just be careful. Just be careful, because if they tickle on you, it's really hard to get that scent off your kākahu, and it takes a few washes. And so I thought I'd finish off on a light note. Ka te ake, good to see everybody again, and just want to acknowledge everybody that's joined back in. I've had a few messages for a while. People were asking me when I'm coming back. So I'm back now. Season 10, number 1 on Manu. And this Manu tonight is Kiwi, and we'll see what Manu we talk about next week. Ka te ake, e mi'i kauana. My wife was wondering what type of birds I was going to talk about. He o no kōrero no tērā. Tēnā koutou, rire au, pai mārire.